Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Neyah, for those of you who are new, and in this video we're going to talk about the truth regarding tarot card and psychic. If you're interested, just keep on watching. What is the truth regarding tarot card and psychic? Before I start, just wanted to say thank you so much to Bridget Love because she inspired me this video, and I'm going to have her as a guest in my spiritual talk show here at the end of the week. Please check her channel. I'm going to put the link down below. She's an amazing psychic and an amazing astrologer and numerology reader. So, with that being said, what is the truth regarding tarot cards and psychic? Let's start with tarot cards. I'm going to put a link over here about a video that I did about tarot and the history of tarot, so I am not going to bother you with that today. But I want you guys to know is that I saw that tarot right now are exploding on YouTube and in general in this new age of Aquarius, which I think is wonderful and it's amazing because it's a symptom that we are all raising our vibration and truly connecting to a higher source and to our divine self. But one thing that you need to understand about tarot cards, and I'm saying this only because I have been doing tarot since I was a child. I started when I was 8 years old, and I had a psychic gift from as long as I can remember. And by the way, that doesn't mean that I feel better than anybody else, so be patient for a second. But what we need to understand about tarot is that tarot or any other divination tool are merely a piece of paper. Like the power, it's never on the tool. Whatever you're using, if you're using a manifestation book, or if you're using a pendulum, if you're using a tarot deck, an oracle deck, the power is always within you. So never give power to the tool and neither to the reader. Tarot, in my perspective, and I'm going to be very straightforward and bold in this video as usual, but tarot, in my perspective, are a tool to shift the awareness on how we feel. So we can take conscious decisions in our life and becoming the master of our reality. So even when you watch, or I watch pico cards and stuff like that, take them as a tool to improve your intuition and never give power to them. If a reading doesn't sound or resonate with your core being, just don't watch it. And if tarot brings you obsession, brings you worry that you're not in control of your future, well, definitely we can assume that they're not the tool right for you, which doesn't mean they're bad in essence. It just means that you are connecting with your greater source and listening to yourself, which is something that for me is so much important in this channel, and that's why I hope eventually in the years this channel is going to develop in something more together. We can evolve in something more than just pick up cards, so we can bring and actually really shift the awareness on how we feel, heal our wounds, and becoming the greatest version of ourselves. So astrology, numerology, pendulum, tarots are wonderful. They're great. They're great because through a reading in difficult times, sometimes we can find hope. We can find understanding of our emotion. We can even use them as manifestation tools. But we always have to remember that the power and our destiny is in our choices and in our hands. And that's something that every talented psychic will tell you. If you go to a reader, and I'm not talking about the readers on YouTube because I see there are wonderful girls out there and they're really talented, but sometimes it happens, unfortunately, around the world. If you go to somebody and they start to tell you things like, oh, I see very bad things happening into your future, you need to give me money, you have a curse. I've been in the occult esoteric world since I was little. I would suggest you guys to just run away from people that say that and to actually stick only to those things that uplift you, bring you joy, happiness, positivity, which I'm not saying that they're not going to tell you the truth on how you feel, but they're never going to tell you that something incredibly bad is going to happen to you and you don't have control on that, because that is absolutely untrue and it's very unhealthy. I really like the perspective of Esther X, the channeler that channels source energy about the law of attraction, and also other perspective of many spiritual teachers in the world saying things like, if it doesn't sound like joy, peace, and love, it cannot come from source energy. It cannot come from who you naturally are, because your being, it's limitless, and it's a being of light that it's beautiful, perfect, and unique in its essence, and resonates only to that higher vibration. Because for your soul, fear, it's truly an illusion of this material dense world, because it's not the vibration, it's natural vibration and its natural state of being. So that's something that I really wanted to address about tarot cards. And again, please subscribe, because on Friday I'm gonna have Bridget talking about this even further, and I already talked about this also with Star Girl the Practical Witch on my previous spiritual talk. And I love to do this spiritual talk so we can all engage in this subject in the community that it's YouTube right now. Then regarding psychic, I'm gonna be very brief. What are psychic? Psychic are people that are naturally born with a connection, with this talent, with source. One of the greatest psychic of all time was somebody like Edward Cayce. If you don't know who Edgar Cayce was, please Google, check him out. It was incredible. Why? Because actually he never studied tarot, he never studied anything esoteric. Actually, his only studied was the Bible. He was very religious and very connected to Christ consciousness. But he had this gift. He could tap into the Akashic records, and he could actually channel higher beings the majority of the time. And I cannot get into much of the details of the difference between higher vibrational channeling and lower vibrational channeling. I'm probably going to do a different video on him if you're interested. So he is a great example of somebody that is born with a gift. But think about it, like we can all sing and learn to sing and, have fun on karaoke or things like that, but not everybody is born like with the voice of Lady Gaga or Whitney Houston or Joe Stone or a bluesman. It's a talent, it's a gift, and usually in spiritual truth, at least in my perspective, comes from past life of developing that tool. So what happens with the majority of psychic, even sometimes in pico cards and stuff like that, and I am not devaluating anybody, I am just saying that not everybody is born with the psychic gift. And what I mean by that is that the majority of the people are intuitive readers. What do I mean with intuitive readers? Intuitive readers means that they basically tap intuitively on your first energy field. So they basically can tab a little bit on how you feel, maybe a little bit of where you came from, emotionally speaking, and they can assume an outcome according to what you feel. Because again, tarot and any divination tool, they can be very accurate, but regarding the future, you have to keep in mind that the future can always change, because the future is nothing but a field of possibilities and outcomes that are related to your own core choices. I repeat again, the future is nothing but an outcome, a field of possibility that depends on your own core choices and emotions and feelings. That's why many people in the law of attraction community talk about parallel realities, talk about manifestation, talk about the power of your choice, and so on and so forth. And I totally agree with that. So what happens with tarot is that the majority of the reader tap into this frequency and they can assume a possible outcome, which is not set in stone. Now, on a broader perspective of soul, your soul actively chooses some of the things that you're going to experience in your life. Some of them, but not all of them. Remember, guys, you have free will. Your future is in your hand. Never forget this. Give power to yourself in that sense. But some of the things are already pre-decided, not by a God that is punishing you, but by your soul. They're set in motion by your soul so you can learn or meet the people and the souls that you actually want to meet. For instance, if you're meeting with somebody, let's say I give my example because it's easier this way. I met my soul brother, the person that I think has been with me in past life, and I have a strong connection, but it was my choice to cultivate that relationship and cultivate it into a healthy friendship. But the meeting of these two people, of me and him, was already predetermined by who? By me and him, on a soul level. So you always have free will. Take responsibility on that. Don't think that you're punished or karma is a punishment. It's a soul choice to learn lesson. Anyway, I'm going to do another video about karma and things like that. Just want to be clear on this for you guys. So, regarding psychic, the majority of them tap into this superficial energy field, which is great. It's cool. Everybody a little bit can do it. Everybody, in my perspective, is able to buy an oracle deck, maybe even better than a tarot deck, just to ask your angels and spirit guides for signs and synchronicities and to connect more to your divine self. I'm all for that. I'm all for people need to reclaim their power and actually strengthen the connection with their divine being and with source. Absolutely. I also believe everybody can manifest what they want. And I'm going to do a different video between the difference between manifesting miracles and actually what you want and manifesting from only law of attraction perspective. But again, regarding psychic, everybody can be intuitive in that sense because as spirit, we speak through thought forms and telepathic communication. So everybody can tap into that superficial type of energy field because everything is energy and everything can be read. But there is a difference between people that are actually gifted. What is the difference? People that are actually born psychic and truly gifted. There are people that can tap not only into the superficial energy field around you, but they can connect to a higher source. They can channel from a higher source. In fact, I and many others don't even need to use most of the time tarot readings. You just channel. You channel directly to a greater source that is higher vibrational. And what happens when you can tap to this greater source, you have people that are so talented like Casey was. You can also read past life, the Akashic field. The Akashic field, many people say they can do it, not many they can, because it's very difficult because the Akashic field has a very high vibration in dimension, literally. And I'm not going too much into the spiritual metaphysical topics, but it is higher. So the psychic either was born with this gift that was cultivated in previous past lives, or is actually have the third eye really wide open. They can tap into this greater consciousness. It's very difficult. It's very difficult, especially if you're not vibrating to the same vibration. Because remember, we live in a world that is governed by the law of attraction. So everything is vibration. We vibrate and our vibration attracts a similar vibration because we become the perfect match of the vibration that we are attracting because it's within us, okay? I am sure you're already familiar with this type of talking. So again, it goes hand in hand with psychic gift. A psychic can tap into a greater, higher source, to source, like Esther X is doing. She was meditating for 9 months, opening all her chakras without even knowing what she was doing, connecting with source, and then she became a clear, detached channel to deliver the message of source. She had psychic abilities in that sense. Same goes for very talented psychic. They can channel in a detached way, that is essential, in a detached way from a higher source. And I want to be very bold and very straightforward. I didn't saw many people having these capacities. Neither I arrive sometimes at that higher vibration. It's very difficult because I explain you how it is. When you are tapping into a higher state of being, It's very difficult because your body, this dimension, is very dense. It's very material. So the only way to really go directly to the essence of who you are and to source is to detach completely from your body, where you actually don't think anymore that your body is you, because in reality your body is not you, okay? So you raise your vibration in that sense, and you cannot force it. It's just gonna happen, okay? Either naturally because you're born like that and you receive message and you're a clear channeler, or because you train yourself to do so. And not many are able to do it. But anyway, you tap into this greater source. When this vibration, you arrive there, it's so light and so high that when it comes that you have to translate it into words in your brain, it becomes difficult. In fact, many times that I channel for myself or for my friends, the majority of the times I don't offer this for the public, I find it difficult to download everything that I can hear from this higher dimension, because this body and the way the brain functions is so dense. So you got to translate that. And it's difficult. It's not easy. The Esther X says that in many of her channeling. She had to train herself, and Source had to understand a way to melt the functions of the brain, how she was expressing herself with what they want to express. Another example would be the writer of A Course in Miracle that was channeling Christ consciousness. Same thing, is the same thing. And it doesn't happen very frequently. You have to type into this greater, higher source. Now, on a practical level, I am all about regaining your power back. So again, don't give your power to readers. Just be very skeptical, I think, about it. And instead of telling them everything about the situation, test them. I did it. Test them and see how far they can go. How far they are resonating with your energy and they can tap into your soul, okay? And so through that, you're going to understand if they are accurate or not regarding your specific situation. That's so hugely important. Or you don't need tarot, you don't need anybody. You can ask and you shall receive. You can ask for signs and synchronicities for any type of signs. And the angels, your spirit guides, source, it's going to be there for you. So what I think is that everybody has a gift. Everybody in the world, and not only in other dimensions, as souls, we have a gift, a unique essence. And you're here on planet Earth to express it. So instead of, I'm going to be very straightforward here, but instead of being a parrot, the animal, okay, copying what everybody is doing simply because it's on fashion and creating content that is exactly the same as other people are doing, just try to tap into your heart. What is your own unique expression? What is your dream? Because that is going to push you further, much further, than copying or trying to be something that is different from who you are. Because you are a limitless, beautiful being that came here to express their gift. So some people have psychic gift and they're here to bring it to the world, to bring messages and channeling. And they are vast right now in the world because we are all raising the vibration. That's very true. Some other people came here to express music, to express art and their soul and heart with that. Some other with writings. Some others, they are beautiful motivational speakers. Some others will become mothers and fathers, or both of all these things. It doesn't matter, because I know that each and every one of you has a unique essence that needs an urge expressions, okay? So tap into that and only go to those psychic that actually are showing you your greatest version. They are showing you who you can become using your own talents and skill, and they will never vibrate on a frequency of fear. They will resonate to your core being. They will tell you the truth. So sometimes the truth can be harsh, but they will never be abusive, unhealthy, or negative thoughts, because that is not source. that it's not who you naturally are. And regarding tarot reading and pico cards here in line, use them as a tool to shift the awareness on how you feel so you can become the master of your own reality. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Again, check Bridget Love YouTube channel. She does numerology, astrology, and also pico cards. And this video was totally inspired by her because I had a reading with her and I was so impressed with her talent. True, loving soul, gifted, talented girl. And I'm going to have her as a guest this Friday on my spiritual talk. So please subscribe to this channel if you're interested. Thumbs up if you like this video, and keep in mind, you're never wrong if you follow love. Bye everyone.